Greetings and welcome to Causeless Joy Tarot. I am Glory, the Golden Light Goddess, and I'm here today to do a general reading for the sign of Aries for the month of May 2018. Today I will be using two decks. The main deck is the Morgan Greer Tarot deck, and then for our guidance card I'll be pulling one card from the Chakra Insight Oracle deck by Karen Sangster. So let's go ahead and get started now with your reading for the month of May. First of all, we'll be looking at your overriding energy card. This card comes from the cards that were drawn at the beginning of the year for every sign for the months throughout, and we'll be using these for the remainder of the year as your overall energy card. Aries, you are coming in with the Death card in the reverse. The Death card upright is all about transforming, a transformation, a huge change. This is a major arcana, and when we see the Death card coming up in the upright, it does signify major changes coming through. When we see the Death card coming up in the reverse, it means an inability to move forward. It could signify that you're even resisting change. But the biggest thing for me with this card is that it signifies that there's a really high level of dependency on either other people or circumstances. So we'll go ahead now and take a look at the rest of your cards for the month of May and see how they play out with this Death card coming up in the reverse. Again, that inability to move forward or resisting change is the primary energy that this card represents. All right. Calling on my guides, angels, teachers, helpers, all that loves and surrounds the sign of Aries. Asking for guidance, wisdom, vision, and clarity as we look at the energies coming in for the month of May 2018 for the sign of Aries. Giving thanks in advance for guidance, clarity, vision as we look at the energies coming in for the sign of Aries for the month of May 2018. All right, if you know your rising or your moon sign, I encourage you to take a look at those readings as well to see if they may offer you some additional clarity around the energies available to you in the month of May. Asking for 5 cards here that clearly guide the sign of Aries for the month of May 2018. Looking at the sign of Aries. What is the highest information for the sign of Aries for the month of May 2018? Highest message. All right, Aries, that feels pretty good. Let's go ahead and cut your cards and see what we have. All right, looks like we have you showing up in your reading. So let's see what the cards say here. These 5 cards represent your internal power, your abundance, your romance, your challenge, as well as your outcome card. So let's go ahead now and get started with your very first card, which represents your internal power, and it is the 2 of Coins coming up in the reverse here. All right. So when we see the 2 of Coins in the upright, we're talking about choices, decisions that need to be made. It's also about multitasking, being able to do more than one thing at once. But when we see it coming up in the reverse, it's about really struggling or feeling like you're overwhelmed, not able to really solidly commit to anything. All right. So, again, we're viewing this card as an internal power for you. And when we look at that card through that lens of an internal power, um, perhaps there's a need not to make a decision right now, right? Maybe that's um, your highest, I just lost my word there. That is your highest option, right? Is to not make a decision right now. So this is something that's coming in from Spirit with this card. It steps away a bit from the meaning, the actual meaning of the card. But whenever I get those intuitive hits about what a card is really set to mean, I have a tendency to go with that. And then not only that, it's the interpretation of having this as an internal power. I absolutely am going to rely on Spirit to inform me on how this card could potentially be an internal power. And the message that I'm getting is that it may be in your best interest to abstain from making a decision about something that's obviously big for you. This is not a small decision. There could be the need, and it doesn't mean that you hold off forever. Maybe that the energies will be better for this particular decision next month or in a couple of months. I don't know. But I do know that I'm picking up that there's a need to withhold from making a decision. Either you don't have all of the information that you need to make a solid decision, or now is not the time to make that decision. All right, so that's what I'm picking up here with your internal energy card coming up as the Two of Coins in the reverse. You have another two coming in here. So obviously, and they're both in the reverse. Your twos, you have the Two of Coins and the Two of Wands, both showing up in the reverse. In the second position here, this second two is about your abundance. So you have this Two of Wands coming up in the reverse, which could indicate that plans don't go quite according to your to what you had hoped. This Two of Wands coming up in the reverse in your abundance area, and again I'm drawn right back to the need to hold off with the first two that came up. The first two that came in, Spirit was nudging me to say that this is about something that you're trying to decide on, and now is not the time to make this decision. So when we see the next card coming in as another two coming up in the reverse, indicating that either you're thinking too small, right? That could be the reason why you're being asked to hold off on making a decision right now, because it could very well mean that you're not thinking big enough in order to make the decision that you need to make right now. So the advice from Spirit here is to hold off on that decision, but there's a need to expand on what you think is possible as well. Not only is there a need to hold off on making a choice, there's a need for you to expand your vision in order for you to really step into the abundance and the joy and the happiness that is available to you. There is a need to expand your vision outward. All right. And this is also about taking actions. Wands are about material things, physical things. So as it relates to your physical abundance, there's a need for you to expand your thinking. Very clearly, that is a message coming in from Spirit there. And thank you, Spirit. All right, so your next card is the Emperor, and this is where you're showing up right here in your reading. The Emperor does indicate, and it is coming up in the upright, and it's also a major arcana. It does indicate the sign of Aries as well. It's about respect. It's about being a strong, controlling, or not necessarily controlling, although emperors are, they rule with a stern fist, a stern hand. They're very direct and passionate about their life, about what's going on. So when I see this coming up in the romance area, this tells me that there's probably a very strong, passionate relationship that you're involved in, and that relationship is truly helping you to become more expansive in your thinking. Right? This relationship, if you take a look at how the cards are laid out here, you're right next to the Emperor, is right next to this need to expand. The Emperor is even looking at this reversed too. So there's a connection here as well with these cards. The cards are literally speaking and telling a story here. The Emperor, this powerful, passionate relationship that you're in, is looking at your need to expand. So that tells me that this relationship will help you to expand your thinking out, and that will also assist you in the long run with making a good choice, right? So the Emperor is looking back on both of these twos in the reverse. So that says to me that this relationship will help you in this area, help you to finally get this two upright, so that you are able to make a solid decision there. And then of course with the expanding your thinking, this relationship is helping you in this area. Again, this Emperor is looking out on these twos as if to say, I'm working on those. I'm working on getting these twos turned around and making a decision that reflects a bigger, brighter, expanded vision of what's possible. Truly a beautiful setup here on those three cards. All right, so let's move on to your challenge. In the challenge position, you do have the Nine of Cups coming up in the reverse. So the Nine of Cups upright is the wish card. It's about your wishes coming true. It's about material abundance. And when we see that Nine of Cups coming in the reverse, it's about you not being satisfied, about you not getting what it is that you want, right? And holding off on this decision that we saw at the very beginning could be the reason why you're feeling like, okay, wait a second, my wish was not fulfilled. I was not able to make the decision that I needed to make in order for my wishes to be fulfilled. So this will represent a challenge for you, Aries, in the month of May. Having this feeling like you're not getting what it is you're shooting for, that you're dissatisfied with outcomes, and maybe feeling unmotivated towards changing things. But again, I'm drawn back to this powerful relationship that you're involved in that is assisting you with making these decisions and expanding your vision. I'm also drawn back to the Death card that came up in the reverse here as your overall energy, which also indicated that there was some sort of stagnation or feeling like you're stuck, really, and unable to really transition. You know, I'm feeling that these decisions and this way of thinking is definitely playing into this overall energy here of feeling stuck. And also your challenge card being, dissatisfied. This is really energy to be mindful of, Aries, in the month of May. Because as your final outcome card, take a look at that. You're coming in with the Ten of Cups as your final outcome card, as well as I can't help but notice that the Star card is right below that. But you have here the Ten of Cups. The Ten of Cups is a happy family. You see this strong arm here holding a gold cup, and the mate is also holding the same cup, receiving the same goodness, that the both of them are receiving the same thing. This is about a happy family, you know. And so working on this, expanding your vision out and making a decision when the time is right, because the time is just not right at this particular moment for whatever reason. As I mentioned, it could be you don't have enough information, you don't have enough, something is lacking here that does not allow you to make the decision that you'd like to make, and that's definitely impacting and creating a challenge for you in terms of feeling satisfied. But all of this has an outcome of happiness, as well as the Star card peeking out behind this happiness card. You know, so that tells me that this too will work. You will work through this energy, and ultimately you will come out victorious. So I love seeing this as your outcome card, because there was a little staticky energy here with these twos coming up in the reverse, although I did see that you have someone on your team who's helping you to work through those issues. But also feeling dissatisfied here as a challenge for you in the month of May. But here again, this Ten of Cups represents the completion of a cycle. It represents your ability to move forward prosperously, gracefully, and full of joy. So that's a beautiful way to close out this reading for you for the month of May. So let's move on now and take a look at your overall guidance card. Again, I am using Karen Sangster's Oracle Chakra. Now I'm dropping all of the cards. They won't stay in my hand. All right, let's just focus on the shuffle here. Calling on my guides, helpers, teachers, all that loves and surrounds the sign of Aries. Asking for one additional guidance card for the sign of Aries for the month of May 2018. Giving thanks in advance for one additional guidance card for the sign of Aries for the month of May. Okay, we are just, the cards are just very interesting here, Aries. All right, let's get one additional card out for you here. We can get the cards to cooperate with us and give us one additional card. There we go. All right, it looks like you actually got two additional cards, but we'll take those. It was better than the great number that came out. All right, so the first card that you have, Aries, is inspiration. You see that? Ideas spark impulse and conception. So you will be inspired. As I was picking up here with your two of coins coming up in the reverse, that now wasn't the time for you to make some sort of decision, a serious decision, a major decision, that you're lacking information or something is missing there to allow you to make a really good solid decision. You rely on your inspiration. Look for ideas that will help you to make a solid decision, ideas that will help you to expand your thinking, to think bigger than what you've been accustomed to thinking. Now, your other card is presence. To be very present in this very moment, whenever you're working on something, to be fully involved, fully aware, paying attention. These things I'm picking up will help you to really begin to expand the way that you're thinking, and they will help you to make strong, clear decisions. All right, so you're being asked to stay present and to also rely on your inspiration to get it done. All right. All right, so that does conclude your reading for the month of May 2018. I thank you for joining me this month, and I look forward to seeing you back here in the month of June. Namaste.